Very good afternoon, pals. Well, we in this particular episode, pals, want to speak in terms of, about the so-called Chilesian Renaissance cultural movement. Pals, it's a really amazing day, when there seems to be a great deal of sunlight over here in the campus. This videotape is recorded at about 13:36 p.m. Indian Standard Time. It's such a beautiful moment, pals, because we never really got an opportunity to record the college, pals, in this particular way. By the way, pals, during the Gelasian era, this was the building, which we were talking about, which used to be the block for freshman engineering students. The block for, the so-called other students, pals, was over there. You know, uh, that's right behind us, at the architecture college, that was the so-called Department of Telecommunications and Engineering. If you look at here very carefully, pals, you will see that, there are all those kind of blocks over there, pals, which happen to be like, which happen to be the so-called spaces, pals, which during the olden times, pals, were used to accommodate the so-called vintage era air conditioners, because, pals, had this building, pals, accommodated the Gelasian princess. Gelasian princess, pals, in her era, all of this particular place, used to be like a very beautiful garden, pals, in the times of Nandita Nanda, Mihika Mahajan, Priya Soni, or all the other amazing people, pals, along with the Gelasian princess. There are very vivid sides, pals, of like, many, many events, back in those days, which basically shaped the course of, who we are at this point, And if you look here, pals, look, this is basically an so-called, this is basically an access facade, to the law college right now. This is law college now, but this never really used to be law college back in those days. This was the engineering college, and well, Pal's Jalajian princess, Jalajian princess even used to go in that building, which happens to be the post graduation block. So, anyways, pal, see you later. Good day.